And we're live.
What's up there, boys and girls? This is a rare afternoon version on a Friday. We're talking with the man, Dennis Campbell. See how I timed that? It said yeah when I said Dennis Campbell. Hopefully my internet's not whacking today, man. It's been wacky in the afternoons for some reason. I don't know why. So what's up there? 29 countries now, Mike?
29. Welcome.
29 countries. Hello, 29 countries.
Welcome
We're
back.
Chris and Mike.
Thanks, guys.
This is
Thanks for having
Dennis
me
Campbell,
again.
Mr. BiznTech. Yes, we are here on Twitch and YouTube Live. So we had Dennis on before, all talking about AI and stuff, which is really cool because the short time, well, not the short time, but from the time that you were on, Dennis, to like within 2 or 3 weeks, the AI like experience just went insane, dude. Like we were talking then about, the more you feed it, all that kind of stuff. We learned so much from you about the what was it? The digital, it's not the digital cloud. What is it that it stores it? The data cloud?
Yeah, the cloud. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. How that just like, because it just within 2 weeks, all of a sudden, the mimicking of the human, like I sent Mike something and he had no idea. Then I was like, dude, look at it again. That's not me. But just in that short time, you said it's gonna catapult itself, and it has. But that's not why we're here today, right? We're here to talk about your music.
Yeah, man, I definitely.
Right?
This is like my first real music interview too, man. I've done a lot of podcasts and interviews, but never done one around my music.
on.
So excited, man.
Cool.
We're happy to do the first podcast you're on to talk about it. That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
Absolutely. So let's talk about your music, man. What's going on?
Yeah, man. So I mean, I've been an artist for some years, man. Like I told you all before, man. I've been recording for years. Really, when I moved to Atlanta in 2008 for college, I got into like some music production group when I was in college. I went to college at Georgia Tech, so
Right.
I definitely, it's in the heart of Atlanta. Of course, it's a tech school, but there's, of course, the culture of hip hop is like all through Atlanta. So it was one of those things where I just got into these groups of guys that like they made beats, they made music. And that's kind of what's the journey of me starting to create music. I had always loved hip hop. I sold mixtapes when I was in high school and always was kind of abreast of the newest and most latest hip hop music. But I never created any until I got to Atlanta. And it was just kind of like a natural thing out there. It's like one of the things people did just to network and have fun. It was like I used to just go play basketball with my friends when I was younger and stuff like that. I get to Atlanta and like a lot of my friends like making beats and going to studios and stuff like that. So it kind of just became a thing that was it was really just a hobby for quite some time. It was a really passionate hobby for me. And over time, it just kept evolving and evolving. Eventually, one of my closest friends, he's originally from Virginia, and he was a producer his whole life, and he kind of had a studio in his dorm room. Then when we kind of started being roommates later on, he had a studio in the house we lived in. So I had a studio literally like right across the hallway from my bedroom for like years. So I could just kind of like mess around with the process of recording and stuff like that. So like I said, I've been recording for since like 2009. I mean, it feels like I've been recording for a really, really long time now. And I just stepped off of the porch and kind of said I want to become like more of a public facing artist outside of everything else that I do in tech. Because it really just aligned with the story and the narrative that I was trying to bring with who I was now and kind of making a more authentic version of myself. So I released my first single this summer. I set a date to release my first album in October. I released the album earlier in October. And now I'm kind of excited to see kind of how things kind of unfold as I continue to do what I'm doing in tech and seeing how much attention I can bring to the music, because my music, it means a lot to who I am. And it just kind of lines up really, really well with where I'm at professionally, personally, all those kind of things right now. So yeah, I'm excited, man. It's a good time for sure.
So with your tech side of life, right? Because your tech side is, I mean, Mike and I both follow you. We both watch what you do. It blows me away, man.
I appreciate it.
So how much of that are you going to incorporate into the promoting and the publicizing of the music? So, because I've seen some stuff, right?
Yeah. So you like, and I kind of do it in waves. Like I've promoted my music in waves. Like, so I created a mixtape last year, and then the mixtape really just to feel out, to see if people kind of like would embrace what I do in music and stuff like that. And I got a pretty decent response from the mixtape. So I did a little bit of work earlier this year to kind of like, before I released my single, I kind of re-released the mixtape, and I did like this series where I just kind of sat at my desk. I put on a suit, a tie, and I kind of just spit the verses that I had on my mixtape to kind of bring some more engagement to it and stuff like that. And I kind of got a decent response from that, and then I rolled out my single. So when it comes to the stories that I tell in my music, it's very much so aligned with the journey that I've had in technology and as an entrepreneur. So I say, and I use a lot of tech to kind of infuse in my music marketing and stuff like that. So I've used stuff like HeyGen and different platforms to kind of create content. I also, all of my music videos, like I haven't produced a music video outside of those desk videos that I shoot myself. All of my videos are kind of AI content generated. So all of my music is mine. Like I write my music, I pick and select my own beats and all that kind of other stuff, go in and work with engineers and stuff like that. But for my visuals, I do a lot of AI visual creation. I have 2 AI videos. I have a 3rd one that I'm producing right now. So I do see AI as kind of like the tool that I'll use to kind of make visuals for the content that I create. But I just don't see myself being like this music, like performing music artist all the time. Like I just don't see myself like shifting my gear from being like I could get paid quite heftily just to go talk somewhere and talk to people about technology and talk to people about different topics and XR and all this kind of other stuff. So I don't necessarily see myself like just diving into being a performing artist, but I do see opportunities where it could make sense for me to perform. But I think it's going to be a world where I kind of just create the music and let it kind of live in the digital space and let AI be the place where I kind of create visuals for my content and stuff like that. But That's never say never though. You never know. I might end up doing certain things, but yeah, right now that's how I'm kind of seeing it at least.
So are you going into a studio when you're done with the song, like a professional studio? Are you doing all the recording yourself?
I'm going to real studios. So like when I was in Atlanta, I used to record in my house. Like we had a pretty good studio in my home though. But right now I go to real studios. Everything that I do, I don't have a studio in my home out here in California. So when I record, I started recording my album back in St. Louis in the studio that was there about last winter time. So last winter I went in with one of my brothers. One of my brother's closest friends. He's an engineer, producer. He's also an artist too, but he started helping me record the album. So went into probably about 4 or 5 sessions with him, started recording the album. Then when I got back to California, I got me a couple of engineers out here, a few studios, and then I finished recording the rest of the records. But yeah, man, I write all my stuff kind of whenever I feel, get the urge and the knack, and then kind of practice, perform a little bit, and then I go into the studio and record stuff.
See, I think that's really cool, man. I would have never guessed that because you're so far immersed in technology. I think that's cool that in the space that you don't feel as comfortable, you leave that to the professionals.
Oh.
I would have thought that, being technology, tech savvy, you would have been trying to do it yourself, which
I actually
would have been totally cool.
In the beginning, that's what I did. Like when I was learning this stuff, I wouldn't go pay somebody to record me or pay for a beat. I would just kind of go into the studio we had in our house, go find some beats, rip some stuff off YouTube, and just kind of write and record and stuff like that. I did that for years. Sure. But once I wanted to start taking it a little bit more seriously, and of course now I got a wife, a son. There's like a separation between what I do from a creative and a musical standpoint and what I actually do here in my home. So I kind of like having to go somewhere to record my music and kind of putting the engineering process, which I do know how to run Pro Tools and all that kind of other stuff. Probably not at the level of a professional sound engineer or anything of that nature, but I do know how to work my way around all of those technologies. So yeah, but I do like prefer working with an engineer, working with somebody who's recording me, mixing all my records and stuff like that, because it just kind of gives me a little bit I really love the creation process more than I like all of the other stuff when it comes to engineering music and sound. So
Me
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I like having that other person to bounce ideas off of. I'm not somebody that's so egocentric that it's my way or the highway. I'm actually looking at everybody else in the room. Does that really sound good?
Exactly.
Am I trying to talk myself into this, or do you guys think it's cool too?
No, for sure.
I like that feedback.
Same, man. That's why I love the engineer that I work with out here, because like he doesn't know me from a can of paint. Like the other engineer that I work with in St. Louis, like he's kind of like he's one of my little brother's closest friends. So kind of they all kind of been around me for years and stuff like that. So they know exactly who I am and what I do outside of the music. The engineers that I work with out here in California, like they don't know too much about me unless I tell them too much, which I don't typically go into all of that when I'm in the studio out here. And they just kind of recording the guy who sings like a new artist or someone who's just an artist that likes rapping and stuff like that. So for me, it's cool because when I go to their studio and they have random people in there and I just kind of get their reaction. It gives me a little bit of a sound canvas to the stuff that I'm creating that's outside of my typical network and stuff like that.
Well, like the other day,
it's a
Chris
whole,
sent me a set of lyrics and all of a sudden I got excited. You know, it's like that sparks that creative side of you. You know, you want to make that person happy. And all of a sudden I'm hearing all this music that goes with these lyrics. And I wasn't even thinking about that 5 seconds before my phone went off, you know, and all of a sudden now,
welcome.
thank you, you know.
And that dude, that song I randomly found because I was looking for something. I was looking for somebody in my email thread. And so I typed the name in and so then I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I wonder if I ever sent this to Mike. And then so I sent it to him. I was like, did I send you this? He was like, no. I'm like, oh, right on.
I said, but I absolutely love it.
Yeah. Well, you've never not loved anything I've sent you, which so you're kind of biased. You know, you're the yes man of the band. But I get like, but that's kind of what Dennis was saying, right? When you're and the phrase you said doesn't know me from a can of paint. Never heard that. That's funny as hell. But that's true though, right? Somebody that you've spent time with doing things, they know everything about you. So it's different going, like you said, going to California, working with a new engineer, and unless you kind of purge who you are, they're just looking at you as an artist who's in there to do work and get you know whatever's in your head down. So it's a different approach, right? So they're not going to be like, oh yes, Dennis, that's nice, and I'm like, man, you know what? I wouldn't do it that way. I would do it this way.
Yeah, and you don't have that brutal honesty that you know. You and I, we're going to say, hey, you got to try that again because that's not good.
Yeah.
They're like, if you're going to pay me $50 an hour, I'm just going to get it down and we're going to send you on your way.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's why and me being the kind of person I am with my creativity, like when I go into these studio sessions, I might book it for an hour or two, maybe a couple hours, something like that. And I'm super particular with my time when I go in there. So, and I'm knowing what I know what the vision I want to have by the time I come out of there. And I'll just kind of give him the free reign to kind of do certain things from a sound canvas perspective, like making the aesthetics and effects a certain kind of way, but I'm already kind of having an idea of like what I really want this to feel like, because I probably rehearsed it multiple times before I go to the studio just so I can get the best bang for my buck when I go in there recording and stuff like that. But yeah, that definitely comes with it just comes with a lot of time recording and stuff like that. It just I know how to be official with my time with these guys for sure. And I definitely don't have enough time to tell them my whole story. Like they'll never know the whole rundown. They'll just kind of be like, yeah, man, this guy cool. He kind of like technology and he's coming in here rapping like it's 1998 or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, those would have been the only debates that Chris and I had because he always wanted his voice to be as pure as possible, which I appreciated, right? But there's certain times where effects add to the song's character and they're necessary. And, you know, it wasn't hard to talk him into it. It's like, here's what it sounds like without it, and here's what it sounds like with it. We can do it either way. I don't care. More often than not.
Right, and it was subtle too. It wasn't like we were before auto-tune, all that kind of shit. So it wasn't such a heavy effect and delay because it was reverb and a delay. And when he did it with me when we were recording songs, and then when Jason did it at the Mason Jar as our sound guy, and he showed me the difference, I'm like, oh, okay. So it was still my voice. It wasn't altering my sound. It wasn't altering my pitch and my tones. It was still my authentic self. It just gave it that little boost underneath it that helped it carry or help it sound as a fuller sound with the band.
It so also that became I was fine with. Painfully obvious to me that he had never been around people who knew how to time the delays and the reverbs to the tempo of the song, right? So at the end of every measure, it disappears as long as you've timed it right. Nowadays, all that stuff happens automatically inside Pro Tools, but to his point, you had to know how to do that back then. You know, if the song was 160 beats a minute, I don't know the math anymore, but you had to know that it had to be a 25 millisecond delay, right? Otherwise it went too short or too long.
For sure.
I don't does rap music use delays and reverb?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely.
Okay.
For sure.
I don't know.
And I said, for sure, it just brings more fullness to the vocals and stuff like that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And it becomes a creative, that was the other thing that, as we were talking about it, it becomes a creative tool too. Sometimes it's cool to make it extend out forever,
Mm,
like at the end of a song or something, let his
yeah.
vocal just repeat over and over again as the music stops.
Definitely.
Sometimes it's a creative tool as well.
No, for sure. I definitely like, and I do some real cool stuff. So I would love to talk a little bit about my album, but I based off of what you're saying, I just did a record with a artist. So I don't do a lot of collaborations recently. Like I just kind of been doing my own thing, but I recently connected with an AI artist. So it's a guy, he's actually a real artist, but he's created like an AI persona for his music and stuff like that. And he
That's interesting.
yeah, it's super dope. So it's different for sure. Let me say it's different. And his music, he has some really dope stuff that he's created. So I started collaborating with him a little while ago. And we made a record. So he sent me this record. It's totally like, it's not like in the same vein of the kind of music I make. It's like just a totally different feel.
Right.
It's almost like stadium kind of music. It's really vibey,
Hmm.
stuff like that. I'm making really like, my stuff is like, I wouldn't say grungy, but it's like, it's very much so rap. Like I'm like really rapping bars and I'm talking like
Cool.
about really deep concepts and topics here and there and stuff like that. But the record he sent to me was super dope. So I put a verse on the record. And he works with some really cool engineers. He's out of the Bay Area. The artist's name is YB Ghosty. So he works with some really cool engineers. One of his engineers, kind of engineers like E40 and a couple other guys in the Bay Area. And he had his engineer mix the song after I had laid my verse, because he sent me the record. Then I put my verse on it in a different studio. Then I sent him back all of the stems and all of the stuff from the session. And he had his engineer go back in and do some stuff similar to what you were just talking about, Mike, where his engineer just took the song to another level with like vocal effects and reverbs and delay, and like and it added more to the beat, and it was just like, yo, it's like it was like I wouldn't even say a totally different record, but it was just like the record on like times 10 or something like that. And I was like, yeah, this
Hmm.
is the type of effect that you would want an engineer to bring to your record if they're going to come in and heighten the quality of the record. But he definitely
Somebody with a good ear and a good set of tools.
super good ear, man. He's been doing it for
Yeah.
years, like 20 plus years of experience mixing and
Wow.
engineering some of the best artists in the game, and having them to work on their record and then hearing it, it was just like, yo, yeah, this is the kind of stuff that this is the tale of legend. Like you see guys that do this kind of stuff, but once they kind of put their hands on stuff that you're creating, it's just like, yo, this is nice. Yeah, like I have an appreciation for engineers for sure. Like I love my guy that's like my little brother's friend who engineers my sound. Like my album, I consider it like a demo now. I think I'm going to re-record my whole album, and I'm gonna turn it into like a more produced and polished version, like later on next year, sometime I'll probably be releasing. But I'm definitely gonna let him kind of engineer my whole album next time I come through, because I do like the guys I work with, Cali out here, but I think it's just it's a particular level of skill that you really want the engineer to have to bring the best out of a record, especially the kind of records that I'm
Hmm.
writing and stuff like that. So definitely I find a lot of value in engineering skill for sure.
I
So
have a
you released a
question.
single, right? Oh, you released a
Yeah, I
single.
released a single. Yep.
So okay. So where do we find the single?
So my single is right now it's on even.biz. But so even.biz, all my music is direct to consumer. Like I do have some of
Okay.
my records
Okay.
placed on YouTube. So like the single is actually, I have two videos on YouTube. One is the first single is called Why Wait. So the record is titled in a way that kind of lines up really, really well with me becoming an artist. It's Why Wait? Like don't
Yeah.
move with urgency. It's kind of one of those things. It's like a call to action record. So I have
Okay.
two animated AI videos, but I only put like the first verse on both of these videos so that I could kind of drive people to want to come and buy the single from the even.biz. But yeah, so that's like the first song I released. The album is out too right now on even.biz. So everything I have is on even.biz. I am planning on like releasing that first single on like Spotify and maybe like one or two other streaming platforms, maybe around Christmas time or something like that, or later on this month. Just because I want to kind of start exposing some of the stuff to a broader audience. But right now it's YouTube for visuals and even.biz to actually get access directly to the records.
What's your YouTube channel?
Mr. BiznTech. Everything is Mr. BiznTech.
Mr. Okay, I was just making sure.
No, you're all good.
I wasn't sure if you were gonna kind of do, you do the different with the music part from it. So that's why I asked.
No, yeah, no, I fuse it all together. It's now the music lines up with what I'm doing in technology. Like I actually describe my music as like, it's like my wellness action. It's like when I go into the process of, yeah, if you go to videos, you'll see it and you can kind of scroll down. We are releasing the AI series, but it should be like the fourth or fifth video in there. Um, But what I did was, yeah, it's that first one right there. So what I
Why wait?
did with the music now, I just call it a wellness action. So like it's something that I do to keep my mind right, to keep my mental kind of in the right space. And I kind of align it well with what I'm doing in the XR and the AI space with the wellness actions.
Somewhere in the future, the truth of hip hop was locked away. The words that spoke to the people, the beats that carried healing, hustle, and hope, the records
Is
that
this
built
AI?
community,
This
not
part is, yeah.
confusion. All of it
Okay.
sealed inside a
Awesome.
vault.
That's sure amazing, man.
I
What's
appreciate
left
it.
out here?
It's so
Noise.
cool.
Empty verses.
The verse will come in right
Culture
after this.
stripped of its roots. But that vault can't stay closed forever. This record, Why Wait, is more than music. It's a signal, a reminder, a key. Because the longer we wait, the more we lose. The heartbeat of real hip-hop is still alive, but only if we unlock it together, now.
That's legit, dude.
DC. Look, I used to play a humble play back, and all I ever did was get played. It's 50, 11,000, something ways for you to get paid. If you ain't like the way shit was going, why'd you stay? Why wait till tomorrow to get done what you can do today? Look, I said, why wait? Look, I said, why wait? I said, why wait? Look, why wait? I'm a once in a lifetime experience. Y'all really ain't experiencing. I can hear it in your sentiment. Know you smell it on me. Yeah, I'm heavy sent and I'm better bent. Started as a rookie, now a veteran. Myself, the only thing I'm focused on getting better than the beat in the flow, the candy. I'm spitting that medicine, helping to heal our people from their rhetoric. Way back, and all I ever did was get played. It's 50, 11,000, something ways for you to get paid. If you ain't like the way shit was going, why'd you stay? Why wait till tomorrow to get done what you can do today? Look, I said, why wait? Look, why wait? I said, why wait? Look, why wait? They know we ain't gon' tolerate too much more of that violent hate, but I prefer that over all of that silent hate. Might provoke them just to take the
That's
bait.
cool.
I'm ready for war action. All we can debate, studied American history, and sometimes I cannot relate.
The vault is opening. But this is just the beginning. To hear the full record, head to even.biz. Search Mr. BiznTech. Don't wait. Don't let it get locked away again.
50, 11,000, something ways for you to get paid. If you ain't like the way shit was going, why'd you stay? Why wait till tomorrow to get done what you can do today? Look, I said, why wait? Look.
That's cool, dude.
That is so
really
cool,
cool,
man.
Appreciate it,
That's-
appreciate it, guys.
That
Appreciate it.
that is like
Your
that's
shit is
legit,
amazing,
dude.
man.
So how long? I want to know how long did it take you to make that video?
That video, it probably took me, I want to say, probably like 2.5, 3 weeks. And the one
Wow.
I'm producing right now is probably about to take me like a month and a half.
Okay.
The first one I made, it took like a few days. The quality of it isn't as good. Like I've been
Well,
working with some other
yeah,
AI
yeah.
creators right now. So the third one that I'm making, which will be the final video for Why Wait. Like I have one more video that I've been trying to get my AI video quality like creation up. So I've been really working with some people that have been making like almost movies and really, really quality stuff. So the last one I'm making is kind of like an F1 video. It's going to be like a race scene, people just driving, flying cars, and kind of, it's going to give a really crazy effect. But that one I'm hoping to bring a totally different level of quality to.
I want the prompt that got you in Times Square. that I want that because I want to put myself on Times Square for marketing shit. That would be badass,
Yeah,
dude.
no, that was
That
crazy.
would be
so
That
cool.
was freaking cool, man. That was like we can get Chris and Mike show in Times Square, and everybody think, "Holy shit, they're in Times Square." That's amazing, Dennis.
No,
That's just,
appreciate
and the
it.
music is cool.
It
So
is.
the
I
music
love your
got a hook.
sounds a lot.
Yeah, it's catchy. It's
Your
cool. It's got a
vibe, your
groove.
beat.
Mhm.
I appreciate it, guys.
I can see what you're saying about going back to like kind of the more old school rap. It's kind of like you got a modern twist on that though, which is really cool. A lot of it has to do with you're an amazing AI artist for sure with your visuals and your background. That was 2 weeks well spent. That was really cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed watching the visuals. It synced up well with the music, which is very old school rap. It is.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. I mean, I would love to play out maybe like 1 or 2 other records, and maybe you all can hear it. Because I have some stuff.
Yeah.
Like that record I liked a lot. So I laid it out first because it just lined up with where I'm at right now. Like I'm really in this place where I feel like I'm moving a certain kind of way, but I also wanted to call other people to kind of, especially in the time of AI, like I just feel like a lot of people are hesitant, fearful. And I think now it's time for more people to just kind of really move with a little bit more urgency around some of the stuff that's going on, because we can't let AI kind of just come in and take over without people actually having the right reins on it and stuff like that. But I'll play one more. So like none of my other records are public actually. Like everything else is like all there. So I would have to probably like do a small screen share. I'll probably play something out of my I want to get you all's feedback on these records. Nobody's heard these records yet, so I want to kind of give some context here. Nobody's heard these records yet, but I'll give a kind of tease for some of this stuff, because the album is definitely yeah, it's good. Like it's really, really good from my perspective. After I've let a decent amount of people hear it, now I'm more excited about the next frontier, what I want to do in the next part of it. But I have a record. It's called Move Around. It's like I feel like it's like a record that's going to like really take my musical kind of position into like a different spot. I want to pull it up really
Awesome.
quickly. I'm gonna play it out of my iTunes. I think it should let me stream it out of here.
Okay. Okay.
Where is it? Where?
Well, I'm super critical of sounds, man, and whoever's helping you engineer that, kudos to them, because
Yeah.
that they can ruin a good song super quick.
Oh,
And
very true.
they made you sound really good behind it. It's not overdone, and like Chris said, it's got a cool groove to it.
No, I
The
appreciate it.
tempo is just right.
Yeah. I think you need I think you need some rock and roll background going on or something, man. Just saying.
Yeah, if you ever need any loud guitars, I'm your guy, brother.
Man, I
And,
definitely want to get
and
into
a
some of
southern
those
rock
spaces.
and a southern rock type vocal, like Nothing Man or Free Man is the song we play. That's Mike and I.
Oh, okay.
So you ever want
Let me know if the
you wanna
music
get some-
comes. Yeah, I definitely will. Like eventually when I get to producing my next version of my album, I'll definitely I'll reach out to you, because I do want to bring some more high quality production to the music. Is it?
I noticed I have the
it would just be
capability to
fun.
do stems in this Studio One that I just paid for. I had to upgrade my subscription, and that was one of the new things that they have in this version, is the capability to do stems.
Nah, that makes a lot of sense. All right, let me see if
It's very
it's
cool.
Is it sharing? I won't let. I'm in the browser. It's trying to get me.
I think we have to share it from our end, but I mean, it's not like we can't do this again and figure and
No, for sure.
pre-plan that stuff and check it out.
If you send
And,
it to Chris through a text, he can share it.
yeah, I can do that
Yeah.
right now. Yeah, we can keep talking, and I'll send
Yeah.
it over to Chris right now. I'll let you see it. I'll
Yeah.
send one of these right to you right now.
Just drop
you
it
gotta
into
send it
the
to the. You gotta
media.
send it to the. He's got to send it to the chat though, right? Because if he sends it to my phone, I can't share it.
All right, send
Yeah,
it
you
where?
can drop it into the media off your desktop,
Where can I send it in here? Let's
just
see.
like we did the background.
That goes above my
sounds
head,
for-
Mike. Send it to Mike. Then Mike can figure
Oh,
that out.
yes.
That shit went above my head, man.
All right, let me see what I can do here. How can I get it to you all? I can get some color to my album too.
Isn't there? Don't we have a chat? Yeah, we got a chat.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Studio chat.
Oh yeah, the chat doesn't let file drop. It doesn't look like. Let's see. Yeah.
Come on, Riverside. Let him drop it.
Yeah.
File in there.
Doesn't.
Do better.
Yeah, no file drop.
Hire this guy as a consultant for
Yeah,
extra $100
Right?
grand a year.
yeah, I'll get him right.
Uh-huh.
I'll get him right.
You know who
for
we should hook
sure.
him up with? We should hook Dennis up with Lemoyne, man.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Who is Lemoyne?
Lemoyne Alexander. Lemoyne, he's a Grammy Award winning rap producer, turned into to rock, kind of a rock. I don't want to say rock star because he's climbing the charts, but he's just like the salt of earth. He's like you. He's just very cool, laid back, just and he came back on. You and he are the only two guests that have actually come back on that hey, I want to come back on the show. We're like, sweet. So but just in talking to you right now about your music stuff, I automatically thought, I said, we should hook him up with Lemoyne.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Because Lemoyne's got a unique thing too. I think you guys could vibe together cool.
He was one of the most sought after rap producers throughout the 90s.
Yeah.
I would love to connect, man. I'm actually always
Just
up
book
with it.
solid.
Yeah, he's good people, man. He's really good people. Humble and just like, I mean, he kind of knocked on the door of some of the stuff that he did. But I think it's so much more. Like he had an opportunity to work with Prince, and then he kind of sat back and reflected. He's like, do I really want to Do I really want to do that? Do I really want to go behind the scenes of Prince? And he couldn't, which I'm like, fuck, I can respect that because, you know, what
He
you
didn't
think of
want to have
somebody
his
like
vision ruined
Right.
of his hero.
Right.
That makes a lot of sense. I could definitely understand that.
And he
Yeah.
said, not that that would have happened, but if it did, I didn't want to ruin something that was so precious to my musical upbringing, like that's what he meant to him. And this is a guy who has gold and platinum albums hanging behind him as he's talking to you.
Yeah. He had a song he produced and played on for the movie, the Queen movie. And so he had that platinum, whatever, in the background behind him.
And then he just did the Spinal Tap one too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. He was just in Spinal
Tap too.
Yeah. That was a flop, but that's not his fault.
Of course.
No.
Right.
He was still asked to be on the project, which is pretty cool. So
Yeah.
that would be fun to have both of you guys on together too.
Yeah, I would love to connect, man. Like I said, like I'm always open to making some dope connections in the music space.
Yep.
So I think I just sent the records to you via email, so yeah, I should get it in a second.
Okay. Okay. Let me go to the Christian Mike email.
Yeah, and I'll give some context too. So like my album, I call my album "You Can't Unsee This." It's I acronym it UCTS. You Can't Unsee This. It's really all about just talking to people from a perspective of getting them to shine their light, like living your fullest purpose, living the calling that you had on your life, and then understanding that once you're walking in your purpose, like the way that I met you all and the way how you all have passion about the music, the podcasting, all of these different things. Like I have this thing that I say to people, like I like to meet people at the God in them or the divinity in them, you know what I'm saying? Where I just like
That's
to meet
great. I
people
love
who,
that.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, are being the fullest version of themselves. So for me,
Yeah.
that's what the album,
Authentic.
exactly, yeah. So the album is really meant to help people unlock that in themselves and kind of giving them that nudge from me telling my story, of course, but ultimately kind of giving them the nudge to, like, you know what I'm saying, like be your fullest self and your truest self and whatever that means to you. So that's what the story of the album is about. It kind of goes through it's 10 songs on this version of the album. It goes from like this, I have so the record starts with the song called Welcome, and I go into this song called Clear, and it kind of like gradually moves from like me introducing people to my world to me kind of like taking them into the music a little bit more deeper and kind of just one of the records in the middle of the album is called Make It. It's like more of a parable record. It's just saying the record, everything is what you make it. It's not
So
about.
this is a true concept album.
It's
Dennis?
definitely a concept album. It's a concept album.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's really meant for people to walk away. Like I call it, you can't unsee this because literally when you meet somebody at their purest form, you really can't unsee it. And then
now I hate to interrupt your train of thought, but let me ask you this real quick. Do you intend to do like an AI video series that goes along with each song?
You're thinking, Mike? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's why I made 3 videos for Why Wait. So the first video I made is called The Vault. The first video I made is called The Chase. So like the first video is shorter and it's really like a guy in a club and he's like just chasing a girl. He's like trying to get her, but they're all around the song Why Wait. So it's like, of course, when you're in a spot where you want to meet women, you know what I'm saying? You don't got a lot of time to be patient when you want to go and pursue somebody in a venue like that. So that video is called The Chase. The second one is called The Vault, which is basically like what you all just saw. It's kind of like me kind of going in and bringing original hip hop back to people. And then the third one is going to be called The Race, which is going to be this F1 video. So I'll do something like that for every core single that I have, which I'm going to have 3 singles for the first version of the album. Why Wait is the first one. The second one is called Gangsta Tears or Clear. And then the third one is called, the third record is called Make It. Make It will be the third single, the third and final single from the album.
That's awesome, man.
Yep.
I think we blew Chris's computer up trying to download I should have just had you send it to me.
Yeah.
But I was trying to, sometimes my brain is working at 1,000,000 miles an hour and I need it to work at 1,000,001. I could have sent you my phone number. I'm like, how am I going to do that? Because I can't give you my phone number to 29 countries
Of
while
course.
we're talking. I could have sent it to you through the chat.
Yeah, that would have worked. Yeah.
He's having problems staying connected in the afternoon for some reason, and they're having an unusual cold snap, which is weird for Arizona. So, like I live in Illinois. You live around St. Louis.
I live in California. Yeah, I live in California, but
Okay.
it's actually cold out here too right now, which is horrible. Like I think it's the whole West Coast. There's like a rain thing going on out here, and Yeah, man, I'm not loving
They're not prepared for that kind of stuff.
it.
Their infrastructure's weak.
So I was just listening to Move Around, and it's legit. And it's
We were talking about how he's doing an AI video series for each one of the singles he's doing, which represent the concept. It's a concept album, which I think is amazing.
Yeah. So okay, cool. But yeah, I don't know what happened. I tried to.
I told him we blew your computer up trying to play his music.
I clicked Move Around, and then it started playing, and I'm like, "Where's it coming from? Where's it coming from?" And then of course my internet decided, "Yeah, you're not going to work now." Which I'm telling you, I don't know what it is about the afternoons with me on Fridays.
We just discussed it. Arizona's having unusually cold weather, and your infrastructure's weak, kind of like a sickly old.
But legit, Dennis, Move Around. What I heard.
You like
I love it, dude.
Okay.
And I'm not, and full transparency, I'm not big on the rap kind of vibe thing.
I am not as versed at that myself, but I know
like
what a good. I know what good sounds are.
Yeah, I could figure you guys understand music like that. And for me, the thing is really music, man. I love hip hop, but I like all music though. Like I'm not just like hip hop is the music that I probably wouldn't even say it's the music I was introduced to first. I was introduced to like gospel music first. Like my mother sings gospel. Like I grew up in like a Christian church. So like I was introduced to that form of music and people performing live and singing in choirs and stuff like that. But eventually I just found hip hop when I was probably a teenager, and it just kind of like took me by storm. I feel like the whole culture of hip hop took me by storm. But you know, hip hop is so inspired by so many other music forms. It's like it's a sample based music format. There's rock and hip hop. There's jazz and hip hop. There's a little bit of everything, and it's like a melting pot or a gumbo of music. So that's why I kind of really love it too.
When I worked at Guitar Center, man, I was fascinated because, you know, like Chris said, we didn't come from that world, but I respect people who respect their art and who are good at it. When I took that job at Guitar Center, I never imagined how many people in the hip hop and rap world would come there looking for what you just said, rock guitar players, rock drummers. They're like, hey man, we want, you know, different samples. We want different sounds. And, you know, it just to cross cultures like that was so cool because all of a sudden now we're talking the same language, right? We don't play the same music, but like you just said, we know what good music is.
Man,
we know what good sounds are.
Music is a frequency, man. It's a real frequency, and the wave is when you really embrace it the right way. You know, it's like think about Run DMC. Run DMC was like one of the first most successful hip hop groups ever, and they were literally
they
like
literally
a hip hop
reinvented Aerosmith.
Come on, man. They were a hip hop rock fusion. You know what I'm saying? And they literally became a household name because they went into the rock world and kind of brought urban African American culture to the rest of the world with rock music fused into it. So yeah, man.
Yeah, let's face it. White people in the Midwest all of a sudden knew what rap was, right? Or hip hop. At that time, it was hip hop for sure.
Exactly.
I mean, let's be honest.
These are the facts. Nobody knew. You know what I'm saying? And it was one of they really, them and LL Cool J, guys like that really start crossing.
I was that kid, you know. I saw it for the first time on MTV, and I was like, wow, that's cool, man. I want to buy that.
Yep.
I found two bands at the same time, Run DMC and Aerosmith, because, you know, I was just young enough that I didn't hear Aerosmith in the 70s because I was like 4, 5, 6. So by the time they released Walk This Way, I found two bands at the same time.
It's crazy, but that's the power of hip hop, honestly, man. It's a very much so inspired art form. I have a little crazy, like hip hop always evolves, but like I'm not the biggest fan of, let me not say the biggest fan because I hate to come off like a hater, but the music that's currently like the rap music that's currently put out, like I feel like it's like got a little bit away from what the nostalgic part of hip hop that kind of brought me into the infatuation that I have with the culture. So the music that I make is kind of like a ode to what brought me into hip hop. Artists like, of course.
That's almost exactly what Lemoyne said drove him to try a different art form. You know, he just got burned out on the clashing. You know, he said when it got to be the gangster rap and it's us versus them, and he said that just wasn't my style, man. I got into it because I loved making beats and producing music and writing rhymes, and you know that was what he was into. He's like, didn't want to see anybody get hurt or anybody get killed. So
Yeah,
I'm out.
man. That gangster, the whole gangsterism of hip hop that came, that wasn't how it started. It just kind of like was a thing that was happening in the communities of African American communities all around America, and it just kind of got brought into the mainstream hip hop pipeline. But that was an evolution that happened. It's still in there right now, and it's still probably one of the most funded parts of hip hop when it comes to like mainstream record labels and stuff like that. But there's a world for so many things in hip hop. That's why I do what I do, because like I can stand in the room with the biggest gangster in the world, or I can stand in the room with the biggest tech executive and carry myself
you
in the
can.
same kind of way. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? And I know that the music can kind of stand those same kind of waves as well.
And I think that's awesome, man, because you're one of those guys that if you look at, and I'm sure you could dress the part too, you know, you could look at you at face value and judge you one way, and you start talking and you're like, holy shit, man, this guy's the smartest guy in the room, whether you know it or not.
Yeah,
In a lot of situations, you're going to be.
No, and it's very intentional.
Just because of the career you chose, you know?
No,
Sorry.
No, you're all good. No, it's very intentional to be that way, man. Like I understand. I know what it was like when I was a 14-year-old kid and wanting to get into technology and never saw anything that looked remotely like me. And I had to study Bill Gates, and I had to study Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos and Steve Jobs. I had to study these guys to get to where I wanted to go, but I always had to study it with a caveat and a carrot. Like, yo, they came from these kind of communities, but what steps did they take to get there? What did they learn? What kind of skills did they develop? What pathways did they get to? And all of that kind of stuff was what was like the foundation of what took me into technology. But I knew that I never wanted to alienate myself completely from the communities that I was coming from. So for me, I always dress like I'm from hip hop culture because I naturally am, even though I'm one of very few.
I would peg you more as the artist music side than, you know, the AI's got to blow people away. They just don't see that coming.
Yeah, they never see any of that stuff, man. It's like a, you know what I'm saying? It's like a black box. You never know what you're going to get with me until I start talking.
I think that part of you is so cool, man. Chris and I talked about it after we talked to you the first time. It's like, we didn't see that coming. And I remember telling you at the end of the episode, I appreciate that you could talk so far over our heads that we'd feel like two of the biggest dummies ever, but you don't. You know, you want us to understand your world, and you're really good at explaining it.
It's a gift, man. And honestly, for me, I love this industry of technology not because I see it as like this thing that's supposed to break people apart. I really see it as a thing that's supposed to make humans more effective, more efficient. And I feel like music is just one of the ways I use to message that and kind of connect the dots. You know what I'm saying? So, it doesn't really matter who it is, like age, gender, race, none of that stuff matters to me when it comes to bringing people into a level of awareness in what technology can do for them and empowering them to be more effective as humans. Because at the end of the day, we're all here sharing the same air, the same planet, the same water. And it'll behoove all of us to be more effective while we're sharing all of this stuff together so that we can have this place for as long as possible, because this planet is the gift that keeps on giving on top of life itself while we're here. So for me, it's just like, hey, whatever I can do to help other people be better, I'm going to do whatever I can, because of course, plenty of people paid it for me to be here today, for sure.
I just heard somebody say we're in the best neighborhood in space. I thought that was great.
Sounds for real.
What was that?
Hey, I didn't ask you this last time, I don't think. And if I did, I apologize. Tell me.
Oh, well, you're good.
Where is all this AI music coming from? Are there programs that are making this?
Yeah, have you ever heard of
we
Suno?
Talk about this?
There's a platform called Suno, which is really, really popular.
I've heard of it. Explain it to me.
Yeah, so Suno is powerful. Like, there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. So, for instance, like, I don't use it to make my own music. Like, first, let me say that I do not use Suno to make my music.
That's why I wanted you to explain to people that you went into a real studio.
Right, but
there was a double-edged
like I said, the AI artist that I collaborate with, he uses Suno and there's a few other platforms. But Suno, you can do a lot of stuff. You can just make instrumentation and make beats on Suno. You can make stems and beats, and it just be like, hey, I want a ambient sounding record, or I want a rock sounding record, or I want an R&B sounding track, and it can make you a beat. You can then go in and say,
just like ChatGPT writes a book.
It's something like that. It's that powerful. And then you can come in and do something of like sing a melody or put some lyrics in there or something like that. And it can sound match your singing vocals and make it sound way better. It can take a reference of a beat loop that you have and turn it into a whole beat, or take a
Wow.
piece of some lyrics and turn it into a whole song, or take a song concept and flesh it all the way out into a song. So it's super powerful. Like, it can do almost anything to help the music creation process. A lot of people, like, like I told you all, I'm in this AI creative group right now. There's this guy, his name is King Walonius. He's a comedian originally. He was a comedian. And I met him some years ago. He recently became an AI music creator. And he's been he's like Time 100, one of the biggest AI creators over the past like 2 years. He made a song that took off. He made a song called BBL Drizzy, which like took off all of last year. It was a fully AI record, and it just kind of blew up. And now he's like a AI thought leader from a creative perspective, because he made a record that was kind of like, it was a joke. Like, he's a comedian, so he made a record that was meant to be funny and kind of entertaining. And then the record just took off, and now he makes a bunch of AI music. He has multiple AI albums. He got nominated for a Grammy, then they took his Grammy nomination back because they realized he was making everything with AI and stuff like that. Like, it was crazy. Like, but
well,
It's like
that's
Milli
what made me
Vanilli, man.
bring this up.
It's like Milli Vanilli for the AI world, right?
no, for real.
Like-
Yeah, but remember what I said a few episodes ago? There's 30 to 40,000 AI songs being uploaded to Spotify, Apple every day, man.
Facts.
I didn't know it was, I thought it was like a month, a year.
No, it's going up.
Every day.
It's going up. Like, platforms like Suno is supercharging the way people make music right now. Like,
that's why I wanted you to explain this to me, because I really didn't understand how that was happening.
it's super powerful. Like I said, you can put a melody in there. You can put a 5-10 second melody in there, and it'll turn into a whole song. You can put 4 bars in.
I could take what's one of the songs we wrote? What can I say? I had a bad day, sipping on a bottle, just wasting time away. I could put that in there, and that'll create a melody out of that.
Yes, and I'll tell you even one better.
That's
like, so
insane.
even the King Walonius guy, I'm telling you about what he's been doing recently. Like, he makes a lot of stuff, but some of his stuff is parody records. Some of his stuff is like jokes. He has a version of records where he goes and takes hip hop songs that were like really, really popular, and then turns them into like country songs, or turns them into rock songs, or turns them into jazz songs, like turns them into other genres. Same lyrics, same same lyrics, but changes the whole feel of the record to something that's in a different genre.
Just using the Suno platform?
So I'm not 100% sure which. I know he's using Suno for some of his stuff, but I know he uses a lot of stuff. Like, he's been working with real producers and going in the studio, but he does do a lot of what he's doing with these type of platforms, and he turns songs into other genres. It's like really crazy.
That sounds like Just Joe. We had a guy on the show not too long ago, Just Joey from Syracuse. He'll take a Metallica song and he'll turn it into a cinematic version to slow it down, right? He just did a version of Paula Abdul straight up, and she liked it so much she commented on it and liked it. So he'll take
he actually got Paula Abdul to comment on the version of the song he did.
Yeah,
He's
so he'll
amazing,
take anything that's out there in the world, and he'll sit down at a piano and change it up in some way, shape, or form. So it sounds kind of like that. What you're talking about, the app, he's doing it in real life. The app's doing it just as an app.
Exactly. It's the exact
crazy,
same
man.
thing. It's just like
I'm just blown away that it can create a version that can fool people so much that it would win a Grammy.
Yeah.
I'm blown away.
And you want to know what's crazy? Like I said, I work with a lot of AI artists and creators and stuff like that, and it's crazy the perspective that a lot of people have on us, because people that make music, like, actually like write it, perform it, play music, play instruments, all this kind of other stuff. There's a perspective that they have on the creation process of this stuff, and then and I know you all is like people that play real instruments. When they started when they stepped in and saying, "Hey, let's make Fruity Loops," and then they start having sound, they had drum kits and guitar riffs and all this kind of other stuff. It's kind of the same thing that's happening. AI just is now, because there's some skills that you have to make a beat in Fruity Loop, even with all of these different clips. With Suno, that skill level is kind of reduced even more. Like, now it's like, instead of you just having to know how to sync stuff together and kind of position things and make all of these different instruments work together, Suno will come in and say, shoot, we're using 20 sounds and you never know where they're coming from, 20 different riffs, loops, and all this stuff.
It can almost interpret that feel, the human element, to some degree.
It can interpret the musical elements. Like, some of the stuff that, because right now it's so much data around music that you realize that the data that's on the internet in relation to music is so immense that AI has so much knowledge to create records that sound like and feel like anything. They can make a song that sounds like Selena Gomez. They can make a song that sounds like Kiss. They can make a song that sounds like anybody, Michael Jackson. Like all of this stuff can happen with AI because it has the data. It knows what frequencies people are singing at, what tones the instruments were recorded at, and it's using all of that data to make different things. But yeah, it's literally has so much data that that's one of the you know what I'm saying, things that come along with now all of our music being digitized.
Well, it's like you talked about when you're on the show before. It's the more you feed the system, the more it's going to learn and understand. And then because, a year from now, probably even sooner than that, our AI twins are going to look and act just like us. It'll get the inflections that we have in our voices and things like that, right? Because you said the more you pump into the system, the more it learns and the more it adapts and the more it makes it that much more realistic. I did a video about the 50-year mortgage and how it's stupid. Nobody knew it was AI. Nobody. And it was my original HeyGen upload avatar. It wasn't even like I went back and did another one, but it's just, it's the program's that good. It's insane. Now I got this question. So with all the AI platforms and music and things like that, like the little bit I know about AI is nowhere compared to you, but a lot of it's prompting and typing in the prompts, all that kind of jazz, right? Is it the same concept when you're making the AI videos and the AI music? Is it all you gotta put in the proper prompts and stuff?
So you definitely have to prompt the music creation stuff properly, and it takes a lot of iteration. Like I haven't done a whole lot there. The most I've done with any of these music platforms is I might have made a few beats that go behind some of my wellness experiences for the stuff I'm doing in the VR space. But when it comes to the visual stuff, this stuff is like, you really have to have some production skill to get to the level of quality that some of these guys are getting to, because you have to go in, you have to do framework to get consistency of characters and scene consistency. There's so many different things because AI is going to always spit out something different. So for you to get consistency across a 3-minute video or a 5-minute video or a short film or something like that, it takes a lot of really, really skilled production work to get to the level of quality that like will keep people engaged, especially from a video perspective, like a visual and even this audio perspective. Like some of these AI songs that are created, like the ones that are really good, like it's not as easy as people would think to get it to the level of quality that some people are getting it to.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this on the video front to try to make myself sound halfway smart. Have they crossed over the uncanny valley yet?
What do you mean the uncanny valley? Give me some context.
Do you remember, like, how old are you? I can't remember.
36 now, 36.
Congratulations.
Okay, so like in my day, the first-person shooter games that came out that were like, the massive multiplayer games, they always there were no rounded edges back then. It looked realistic. Everything was in real time, but they called that the uncanny valley, where people didn't move quite right and the edges of the backgrounds weren't quite right. So I would say with AI, we've crossed over that. A person looks like a person.
Oh, for sure. You can, there's AI videos that can look just like real people because literally, this is the byproduct of social media, though. You understand that there's so much video content of people on
Back to Chris's point, we've been feeding, or to your original point on the first episode, we've been feeding the machine all this time.
We fed it so much.
I
love
HeyGen. Like, I know. And I used, this was stupid.
I know.
So I had this funny idea one day of putting a marshmallow. I was making coffee for the morning, putting a marshmallow in the filter, right? Like, because it was stupid, it wouldn't work. But then I was like, oh, I'll go to HeyGen. I had HeyGen create this nice little pretty, brunette woman talking about how to make your coffee taste like burnt marshmallow. And legit, it was a 30-second clip about taking a marshmallow, sticking it in the filter. I put that shit on Instagram, dude, and you know how many people comment, oh, that would be disgusting. Oh, I would try that. I'm like, it's fake, man. It's bullshit. It's not real. Came into my head. And I'm like, here, let's put a marshmallow in the filter. But that was after we spoke, and that's just how much. And
the video, a little man swimming in your backyard pond, looks so real.
Yeah,
he looks like a fish.
Right? And that's using meta AI, dude. I just took the picture of him, and then I told it, I had to do a lot of back and forth with it, you know, but then, and it was, I mean, you can kind of tell it's fake because when he goes underwater, he doesn't have a shirt on and all of a sudden his body's the other way. But you know, I mean, shit, that still was pretty cool just, you know, because I irrigate and they were playing in the irrigation. It's like, hey, so I showed it to him. He's like, I'm under the water pop up. Not really, man. But, and the little ones, man, he loves, you've heard of brain rot, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Yeah.
Mhm.
So he loves watching brain rot in the morning when he comes over. And just like this morning, I'm like, what are we watching, man? Brain rot. I'm like, okay, it makes sense. We're rotting our brains. But it was just all these just constant shifting, changing scenes of just weird AI stuff. It's amazing what it's coming, man. It's mind boggling for sure.
No, definitely.
For sure. I made him fly like Superman from a picture.
Mhm.
I made his little brother Trip. I told it to climb a tree, and he turned around and leapt to the pine tree and all the way up to the top. It's a trip. It's fun. It's fun if, you know, just for shit like that. But what you're doing is insane. That video that took you 3 weeks to do, that clip, that's pretty
That's so
legit.
cool.
It's really legit.
No,
For
appreciate
sure.
it, man. Definitely. When I get the next
Yeah.
one done, I'll send it out. I think I'm gonna put a little bit of a budget behind this one because I think I'm just kind of increasing the level of quality. So I'm excited to let
Well,
that
before you drop that album in the spring, make sure you come back on,
Yeah.
man.
Oh yeah.
No,
Let
for
people know that you're going to
sure.
drop it and when it's going to come on. And
out. I will.
I love talking to you, man.
No, I
I was so
definitely
excited
will,
when
man.
you
I
told me
appreciate
that you
this
wanted to come
platform,
back
man.
on.
I like talking to you guys too, man. It's good. It's good to like have our perspective, just come in here and kind of meet the meeting of the minds. But definitely like that song moving
Well, you
around.
exploded my brain musically and with the, I mean, I'm sorry we got back on the AI again,
No,
but
you're all good.
all three of us are fascinated with it. I just thought about that. It's like, God dang it, we just spent another 10 minutes talking about
No,
AI
you're all
again.
good. No,
And it came on to talk about music.
but that record moving around, Chris, that's going to be like the lead
Yeah.
single for like the second part of my
Cool.
album. So like
Cool.
that deluxe version, it'll be like the thing that kind of introduces the next wave of what I'm doing. I don't
Nice.
know when I'm gonna drop it, but it'll be that for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, shoot that one to me.
Yeah, I did.
in
I
my
emailed
email
it to you, Mike. I just forwarded it to you.
Okay.
So when you do
Sweet.
your videos and stuff, let me know because we'll throw your videos up on our Facebook page. And stuff.
100%.
Oh, cool,
Yeah,
for sure,
yeah,
man. I definitely
yeah.
share 'em, man. Definitely
Yeah,
visit everything.
yeah.
And I try and repurpose everything
Yeah.
I see that you throw up there because your stuff is just so cool, man. I want people to see it.
Mhm.
And the one thing that I will say about your first episode to give you kudos that I always tell people when I say go listen to it is how positive you were about AI. You know,
Yeah.
people will start saying just general dumbasses that only watch the news. I'm talking to them in the public, you know, oh, it's going to take all these jobs. I'm like, go listen to this guy, man. We tried to get him to be negative and he was so positive the whole time he was on the show. I think you're going to have a different perspective. And more often than not, those same people will come back and say, hey, thanks for, you know, telling me to listen to it or whatever. So keep spreading your positivity out there too,
No, I
man.
appreciate it, fellas. Appreciate it for sure.
And we got to have you come back on before the end of the year because I have to bail. But Mike is off like a whole stint of time, and we're purposely not doing any real shows during the week of Christmas.
Makes sense.
So we can definitely have you sneak on, and we'll promise just talk about music.
Oh yeah, let's do it, man. We can probably get a few records kind of lined up. I hope they had another video done by then, and we can have like
Yeah,
a
that'd be
more
cool.
deeper dive into the album a little bit, and maybe
Yeah.
talk about the deluxe a little bit for sure.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
fun.
if you save some stuff, you know, that you can send to me like a half hour before the show or whatever, you and I can make sure it's going to work before we do it. And then Chris can pop it on as
There
we
you go.
go. So
Sounds like a plan.
There you go.
that'd be fun, man.
That's
really
awesome.
promote new stuff you got coming out. So
Yeah.
thanks
Yeah,
again
you're-
for
you're
coming
such
on.
a
Chris has got a
superhuman,
hard
dude.
out here at an hour.
Yeah, you're just
I
a
appreciate it, fellas.
superhuman, Dennis, man. I
Thanks,
love
guys.
talking to you,
Thanks.
dude. You're just next level, man. It's just you're cool. You're such a humble human with just a really good life resume. And I didn't know you were a dad and a husband. So props, man. That's cool.
No,
You
I
didn't talk
appreciate
about
Well,
it.
and
having
this
a
is the
family.
side that this is the side of the podcast that I didn't really even think would be so exciting to me is when he said, hey, Dennis reached out and I want to squeeze him in if we can because he wanted to come back on and talk about his music. I was like, not only did I remember you and I were talking about you coming back on to talk about music, I
Mhm.
just thought it was cool, man.
Yeah.
The repeat customers are cool.
No, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
it's always
I
good,
appreciate
Chris
your
and
time,
Mike.
man. Yeah.
No, I appreciate
yeah.
you guys
And hey,
too.
thank you for being flexible with me today because I triple booked myself, but I had to go do that thing I did this morning because that fuels my soul. So I thank you very much for being
completely
flexible
understand,
with that,
man.
man.
I do it too all the time, man. So yeah,
Yeah,
you got to
yeah.
do what you got to do for your community for sure,
Yeah.
bro.
That was appreciative. So I'm Chris. He's Mike. This is Mr. BiznTech. And remember, if you're feeling sad, sorrow, or depressed, go talk to somebody. Go run. Go work out. Go scream in a pillow. Go journal. Go write. Call somebody if you can't find somebody to talk to. Text 988. Somebody is standing by waiting to talk you off that ledge. Tomorrow will be a better day because you're waking up in it. Don't leave a hole in somebody else's heart because you decided to leave this planet Earth. Until next time, nothing but love. We'll see you guys later. Peace. Love you, Mike. Love you,
Thanks
Dennis.
again, Dennis. Love you too, brother.
Love you,
Have a
guys.
great day, man.
Oh, hopefully.
Take a moment.